So a couple of weeks ago, I fell down a rabbit hole. I watched one video about mechanical keyboards, and from there, it was over. So I ended up ordering a bunch of parts to make my own mechanical keyboard, and I decided to redo it on stream. So that's what this is. This is me, over the course of 3 streams, putting together a keyboard, and hopefully by the end of it, working. I'd also like to specify that this is not a guide. I don't think people would use this as a guide, but I made some pretty huge mistakes, and building a keyboard is kind of expensive, so please do your research. And if you're gonna build a keyboard, don't refer to me as a source. What we're doing today is we're gonna be building a mechanical keyboard. So a lot of parts that go into it. I'm gonna try and give you guys my general understanding of how keyboards and shit works. So I have this switch tester right here that I use to figure out what kind of switches I like. There's 3 categories of switches. There's clicky, tactile, and linear. So clicky is what you think of when you think of like very loud mechanical keyboards. Whenever you hear someone like use like a Razer keyboard, they usually have like, I think it's like not greens, it's like Razer's own version of greens, but they're just fucking loud. Then there's tactile switches, which are sort of like clicky switches, because when you click a clicky switch, you feel like a tactile like press. Tactile switches are the same in that way. So like you push it down and you feel the bump. So like my keyboard right here, these are browns, so they have that tactile punch when you press them. But that's what I like. I like the bump. I don't like the noise. So that's what we have. And then you have linear switches. These are the ones that just go straight down, up and down. So the switches I went with are a tactile type switch. They're called Holy Pandas. These are the keycaps. So these were called like matcha somethings. I got them from Drop. And this is the actual rest of the keyboard. This is the case. It has this brass insert at the bottom. Weight it down, and then this is my brass plate. The switches go onto here, and then this goes on top of the PCB. We have PCB, we take brass on top of it, and then we put switches in, and then we solder said switches on the other side after we lube them. So this is going to be a very long process. But first things first, I gotta make sure this keyboard works. Oh, it does light up. What the fuck? I didn't even know this. That's lit though. This is gonna get all hidden up though. This isn't gonna show up in the keyboard. Like all my shit is gonna cover it. Okay, so when I short a connection here, right, you'll see the corresponding thing turn up. So if you guys look at the number 3 right here, this should light up now. Alright, I think we're good. I think I got every key. Since it's 65%, it doesn't have everything, but... So this is a keycap splitter, switch splitter, I don't know. So this is 35 switches, which, if I recall correctly, is half of how many we need to do. We have to lubricate all of these and these. But for the springs, there's actually a very simple method to lube them quickly that Max alluded to earlier, which is called bag looping. We take all the springs and we throw them in the Ziploc bag. Okay, so bag looping, we take the springs and then we put some lube in here and we shake it up. I was told to do 8 by the video I watched. I don't know how this works though. 5, 6, 7. Alright, I think that's enough. 7 should be good. And now we just shake the lube. So we said apply half to the rail. Okay. So we rub these. Alright, we're gonna say that's good enough. Okay, now I need a stem holder. Stem holder. Is it half here? Sorry, I'm watching the video at the same time. You guys can't hear it. Half here. And now I just smear this shit everywhere. So next, I'm gonna add these pads. They're supposed to help with sound. Okay. This is the first try, so it might not be the best. We'll try. And then there's more. We clap this. Oh, and then it locks. Oh, okay. Yo. Not bad for the first switch. Okay, now we just have to do this 66 more times. Okay, so you can see me lubing switches in the background right here, but since we have to lubricate like 80 of them, so it took me the whole stream just to lube like half of them, and I just ended up doing the rest the next day. But yeah, the process is basically the same for all of these. Today, we're continuing the keyboard. We left off yesterday. I was lubricating a lot of switches. So today, this morning, I woke up and I kept going. And we got all the switches done. So I have all the switches on the plate right now. And this is going to go on top of this, the PCB. I'm just going to slap it on there, flip it over, and we're going to start soldering. Because right now, what I've been working on is getting the stabilizers in. That's these little bar things. So what happens is when you press these like huge keys, like your space bar, your enter, your backspace, you need it to bounce back, and that's what the stabilizer's for. The thing with the stabs is you gotta lubricate them too. This is the stabilizer housing, and this is what the stabilizer sits in. This goes in this, that, and the wire goes in right here, connects it, and then you have two on either side. That's great. We lubricated the inside of this so that the smaller piece can slide in and out easily. But next, we gotta lubricate the wire that connects the two pieces. So for these, you kind of have to do like a thick ass layer. You can kind of see it. You can see like how it's like a little bit more opaque at the top. Okay, so we got the stabilizer put together. Basically it's just two of the houses, and then the wire connects them, and then you press on this wire, stabs go up. All right, we got all 4 stabs installed on the board. So now get to the more fun part of this, which is putting all the switches in, and then we can start soldering shit. Okay, it's finally lined up. But for each of these that have a stabilizer, I need to make sure the key like comes back up and it works. So I gotta take each of these big keys and test them out really quick, and then we start soldering. Is that rattly? I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Once we get the soldering is the one thing I'm kind of like, hey, that's not gonna be too bad, because I used to solder in college. I know how to solder very lightly. Oh, this is what not to do. Have an open PCB next to where you're pouring water. That's a fucking Blue. You're a genius, bro. You're actually a genius. Good God, bro. Guys, we did it! Keyboard works! So, we had a lot of RGB on the back, right? We're gonna cover it all up with painter's tape. There is a mod that people do by putting painter's tape on the back of their keyboards. It apparently helps with sound dampening. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, that's nice. Why is it so difficult to screw these in, bro? Alright, guys. Now that we've gotten the keyboard screwed in, all that's left, put in the keycaps. Okay, we fucked up. Spacebar doesn't want to fit. Yeah, you're gonna have to take it apart. And here's where the big mistake happened. So once we got all of the keys placed and soldered, one thing I didn't check was the spacing around the spacebar. Originally at this point I thought the issue was with the function button, but it turns out if you look very closely, the control in the bottom left corner is actually a little bit too far to the right. So because of that, the spacebar just didn't have enough room. Ultimately, I ended up moving the control and getting rid of the function button, but I wish I had actually gone through and checked the spacing properly. Also, I don't know if you guys have tried desoldering, but it is not meant to be done by humans. I may or may not have, and I won't show this, had to pull the key switches out by hand using pliers. Alright, fixed.
So we have the keyboard now, fully complete. It's pretty nice. The only thing I've noticed is the control is a bit not reliable, and shift, the stabilizer's a little not lubed enough. Oops. It sticks sometimes, but besides that, everything else the keyboard's been working fine.
So I promised chat while we were building the keyboard that the first game we'd play would be Valorant. So we hopped into a session, our next stream, to test out the keyboard. That's what the rest of the video is about. But if you do want to see a typing test on this new keyboard, be sure to stick around to the end. After the Valorant section, I took a typing test on a monkey type.
Oh my god, I have so much room to move my mouse now. Because before my keyboard would stop like right here, so it'd be like hit keyboard, hit keyboard. Super, I'm down. Let's go! Woo! Ace with an op, bro. Let's go. You guys cracking the new keyboard? That's what it is, bro. Oh, I don't have F6 anymore. Fuck, how do I do this? How do I...
Can you not say that?
I don't have F6 anymore. I gotta remap that.
She's not.
She's, showers. Tetris.
You got it. See? We will lose in this game 9-3.
Yeah, what the fuck? Oh, you know what it is? Super, I started opping, bro. We started winning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold it with my op. Spike down Nuka.
No, I could have got a clat. Damn it.
Let's go. Am I an op crutch? What was that game, bro?
9-3 and we won it.
Overall, that was super fun building my own keyboard. I learned a lot. In general, the keyboard's been working fine. There's a few issues I've noticed. The shift stabilizers aren't as nice as I wish they were. They kind of get sticky sometimes. I might have to take apart the keyboard and try and somehow get the stabs out, but that seems like a pain. Another issue is when I was moving the control, I left a bunch of solder in the original control switch area. So control isn't super reliable either. Sometimes I have to double press it or triple press it, but it works. And then the other issue, for some reason, the number 4 key, and this is a very specific key because I was playing a game of Valorant and I couldn't defuse the spike for some reason. It would just not let me hold the 4 key. So there's some small issues like that that are persistent with the keyboard. Obviously I'd like to fix them, but we'll see how it goes. Either way, like I said, I had a blast doing this. I had a bunch of fun streams doing this as well. It was cool to just hang out with chat and get to do this. Outside of that, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Be sure to check me out on Twitch, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Also, to be sure to join our Discord. It's linked in the video description. And if you guys haven't, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.